Showtime. Bitcoin moneymaker. Every angle to get in the crypto game. Welcome to all my fellow Bitcoin monkeys. I guess the market's just kind of been waiting to decide what it's going to do next. There's been some good moves like Litecoin and Ethereum, but I wanted to talk about EOS. Now I'm looking forward to the future for my long-term holds, and EOS keeps climbing up the list, just like Cardano has recently. IOTA exploded. Ethereum's starting to go up. I'm trying to decide which platform to put the most money in and to watch the most closely, so I'm starting to make my rounds watching the different platforms, and really it's Neo, Ethereum, IOTA, Cardano, EOS. Those are kind of the five that I really want to pay attention to. Those seem like the big players. So I was looking at EOS, and it just seems the same guy that made it made Steemit and made BitShares. I logged into BitShares today, and it looks pretty crappy. The exchange, it looks a little bit better than Ether Delta, but I think the idea of it is good. A big decentralized exchange. I don't know if it's going to succeed. I'm not planning on investing on it. Steemit, I get the concept, but again, I like platforms and protocols, and you know, Bitcoin is a store of value and other things other than social media and content and stuff like that. So, and I don't know how well those relate to building some, Generation 3.0 platform, building BitShares and also just kind of the fact in Steemit and the fact that he just moved on right away to the next thing, to the next thing. It's not like he stayed for 5 years. So it's like, well, how long is he going to stay with this? Maybe he's just going to leave this behind, and maybe he's the real brains and the drive behind it. So that's one thing. And then the other things are, it just doesn't seem any different when I looked at its white papers. White papers here on GitHub. It didn't catch my attention as much as when I've read about IOTA and watched stuff and Neo and Cardano. It just hasn't caught my attention as being inherently better than those, but I guess it's supposed to be really good at scaling. But I don't know. It seems like everybody's product is a year or two away, so I don't know how much you can trust. I like Ethereum just because it actually has tokens and it's doing ICOs and it has some momentum. It's on Coinbase, so if something really has to kind of, I don't know, pique my interest, and it hasn't so far. But I'm still gonna follow it because it's high up. I think it's number 11 now in the coins. So moving on to the market, I am back to my infamous ETH BTC combination, but I am not doing it on BitMEX because the contracts are expensive for Ethereum. I'm doing it on Bitfinex with a lot less money, and I have I don't know, maybe $7, $8. What would that be? 40 some thousand satoshis in a trade right now. Anyways, this is the trade. This is Ethereum BTC on Bitfinex, and if we go back, we can see the chart looks nice too for Ethereum, US dollar. Litecoin's the other one that shot up like crazy, and I owned it a long time ago. I sold it because it went from 90 down to 50 or 60 or 70, what seemed like a long time, and everything else was going up, so I put it in a bunch of other stuff, and I'm thinking about buying back in during a pullback. Anyway, here's Ethereum trade. You can see that it's coming from kind of super lows down here. And maybe I can go back to the day to give a better picture if you guys have forgotten, if you haven't seen enough of the Ethereum BTC chart. But, it came to this high a long time ago in June, and it's kind of kept coming down. A lot of people think that it and a lot of other altcoins are kind of bottoming out, and this would be the bottoming out spot. So it's just had this ride, but this ride has been pretty good because you went down to 2.5 million satoshis, and now you're talking about breaking 4. So I don't know what, I think that's like a 60% gain, somewhere thereabouts or more. So that's pretty good for this short, for 3 days to go up 60%. So if we go into the 15-minute, I've been doing short stuff because the day charts, it's just stuff moves so, there's so much volatility, and I think there's gonna be, and you don't know what's gonna shoot up soon because of big money coming in. I don't like planning about like, oh, I'm going to trade this for 3 days or 4 days. I've been sticking to tighter charts, and I've like the 15-minute chart. So when I went to the 15-minute chart for this, I saw, ooh, look at the cloud is green the whole time. The Chiku line is above price the vast majority of the time. It seems like it keeps going up. The Tenkin and Kaijin lines aren't always 100% great, but it seems like they're pretty good where Tenkin stays above Kaijin. So I thought this looked, it had enough momentum and it broke through. And you saw some decent volume here, some interest at least in the middle, even though the volume's been down for the rest. But I got in around here today at almost 3.7, just under 3.7 million Satoshis, and now it's at 3.9. And I did a good job putting a trailing stop. I used a lot less money than I usually do. I did real conservative, so I'm only risking at most 3% of my wallet amount there, which isn't much. We're talking like that's a couple dollars. But so here's the 80-minute line, the moving average, and to me that acts as like a trend change that I would want to sell out as a trailing stop. So I've just had my trailing stop about this far away from the price, this distance, which is, I think it's like 2.4, 2.5, sorry, 250,000 Satoshis. So I think that's like an 8% drop, something like that. But yeah, so it's just kind of followed along here since here. It's just followed along and it stayed above here. And I've kept the trailing stop. And so once the trailing stop gets around here, then everything after that is just profit behind the stop. But like maybe before I go to bed tonight, I may just sell out here or sell out most of it for a profit and leave a little bit with the trailing stop and just let that go while I sleep. I'm not sure, but if we go to, here's Bitfinex, and this is it's had tether controversies and some other things, and I don't know. I'm not going to say that my money's safe here. I kind of feel a little paranoid, but it's only a small amount I have on here, just a couple $100 to play with. And here you can see my profit loss gain is 5%, and I just like it because they have trailing stops. You can margin up to I think like 3.3 times the value you put in. The minimums are good. On Payouts, I found out that it's expensive to margin trade the minimums. A lot of stuff here, I think the minimum was 0.04 Ethereum, and I don't know what that is. I think that's, I'm not even sure what that is off the top of my head, but it's not like a $200 minimum, which Payouts I think was something like that. It was like a $200 minimum on a position. This isn't nearly that much. I think it may be 15, 20 bucks. I'm not sure, but it's small. And yeah, so I watched for that trend break, and I've been watching my stop, and I may just, like I said, close out or sell it. So I like this one. There was one yesterday on BitMEX where I caught Bitcoin, and I was at profit at first, and then it kind of, imagine this was just Bitcoin instead. It was profitable going up just like this, and then all of a sudden this fell and hit the stop while this wasn't in profit. So that kind of told me if you get an irky feeling and you see this dropping, even if you're trailing stop, if you have some sort of feeling, you see a candle pattern here you don't like or a certain volume, you may want to just close out right then and don't wait for it to hit the trailing stop. So you know me, I'm kind of in that mood because to me, getting 5% for not that long a time, it's not even been like a day or two, it's just been a couple of hours. That's not a bad gain. Again, if you train yourself that you could do this consistently and the money wasn't just worth 10 bucks, let's say I got 150 bucks out of this. This 5% was $150. So that's not bad for, you know, just watching a trade once in a while over 2 hours that has a good trend behind it. Okay, so the bad news, Nice Hash hacked $60 million. They haven't let me log back in, but I only had, I don't know, 50,000 Satoshis. I think I had, or 500,000. I probably had 60, 70 bucks worth in here, and I hope it's there when they come back after they do their security stuff. So that's too bad. That's really too bad because I was enjoying getting to know the coins, all the altcoins, and the different algorithms and how to mine and the mining pools and all that. Because even if I don't decide to keep cloud mining in the future, for real mining, it kind of gives me a better picture of what it's all about. So that's too bad about that. Hope that gets better. Chain Group, more bad news. Okay, so my plan has been to shovel out of Chain Group into Bitconnect. I put $5,000 originally in Chain Group, and I shoveled out 3,300. So last night, it just, the payment didn't come in right away, and then it's been pending, and that's usually a bad sign from my other experiences and hypes that have left me. BitPetite and CoinReam. Though with those, I invested a lot less. Like we're talking like single percentage digits in those, and that was like my super risky move to try to pump up my Bitcoin really fast, or my lending snowball. So I hope that this comes back, but I'm glad I shoveled like 60% or so of it over to Bitconnect, so Bitconnect still lives. But I mean, this really, it doesn't, it's not like, it's like go big or go home. And now it's not like I've been sent totally home, but I've definitely been sent to the bench, because if this doesn't keep paying, then I am on, or the best news I could find out was their Twitter. You can just see what other users say, because they don't have, I don't think, an official forum, or their Reddit isn't that populated. So this, you can just see people asking if anyone else has gotten transfers. I think like 1% of everyone said they got like an advance cash, but everyone else, I don't see anyone else saying that they got their payments through pending. And YouTubers like DJ Nady, who's in this, I think, heavily in his portfolio on his Excel sheet he shows, he didn't say anything about it yet. So I'm looking at his video if he knows anything, because he has a lot of followers and maybe they know something that I don't. But we'll see. If not, I just have to move on. And so my plan, if they didn't pay out anymore, is I'm gonna have to go with my safe plan, like now that those other had been knocked out. So I started with 10K, and now you can see at my principal I'm at, if Chain Group doesn't come back, I'm at this, which is about $90 or so a day. I'm just gonna pull out every day until I get my 10,000 back and I get a 20% profit. After that, I'll decide depending on the market, and that should take, I don't know, maybe, I'm gonna guess it's gonna take over 3 months, so it'll take till probably somewhere in March. End of March is when I'd get my profit out and everything. And my other plan, it was gonna be maybe like February, early February, I'd walk out with profits. So this pushes me back a month and a half, but Bitconnect is the last one standing, and it does have the coin behind it. And I had a choice when I invested in other ones that I wasn't sure, because Regal Coin was brand new and had shutouts and all this other stuff. Hextra Coin wasn't even around yet when I made the decision. Falcon Coin, all these other coins that have come. But I think, you know, if Bitconnect, I think that has the coin, it has that weird economy that it plays on you on it. It has the best chance of still lasting longer with all the money they get and all the promoting they do, but we'll see. We'll see. I hope that this lasts, and with this every day, I'm going to start drawing out, and I'm going to buy Bitcoin with it every day, just to be sure. So yeah, I'll go with that. I'll let you guys know how that goes still every day, and as always, the rest is up to you.